Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the folks joining from India. Thank you for joining this call today. This is our second webinar. I'll take a couple of minutes for introductions. I'm Ronak Bhavsar, and I'm a co-founder at Finomics, and I'm going to be your host for today. Thank you so much for joining us today on this webinar. This is going to be a quick 30-minute session. There's going to be 15 minutes given for question and answers. So feel free to ask me any questions towards the end. You can send your questions through the chat window and I'll be able to answer those. I assume you guys can see my screen. And I'm going to get started now. Today's topic is tokenomics. That's really is the buzzword in the industry currently. You must have heard a lot about companies, enterprises investing into AI and how quickly they are burning through the tokens and how it is costing them. And there is kind of a turbulence going in the industry that everybody is kind of reactively trying to stabilize. So we thought it's a great opportunity for us to talk about it. It's a great opportunity for us to talk about the problem and the solution. Today in the agenda, we are going to talk about what's a token, right? Why is it creating so much of the buzz? What's the token economics? We will talk about the burning AI problem. We'll talk about the why behind the problem, and of course the solution. And towards the end, I will introduce the Finomics token economics solution, and that sets the stage for our next webinar in the series. So let's get started with the very important question is that what's a token, right? Everybody is talking about it. Everybody has used it in some or the other way. So the question is very legit, that what is really a token and why is it creating this buzz, right? So the token is a fundamental unit of AI cost, right? And this definition is from FinOps Foundation. And we just came back from FinOps conference hosted by FinOps Foundation, and tokenomics was everywhere. That was the buzzword. And in fact, the next year's conference is going to be dedicated to tokenomics. It's called Tokenomicon. So this is an industry-wide problem, and we are trying to find a solution. So understanding a token is very important. How do tokens get generated, and how do we get charged, right, for the tokens? Any interaction that you are doing with an AI is essentially turning into two types of tokens. One is an input token, and another is an output token. So anything that you do with AI, whether you are just using it as a productivity tool, you're using ChatGPT or any other tool that's helping you with your day-to-day work, some research, you are going to type in a prompt, you're going to give it a context, you're going to give some system instructions, right? As soon as it is interacting with that AI, it's going through the models, how it's processing, and then at some point it'll generate an output, the response, the tool calls, the reasoning behind it, and then it is generating something for you, right? As simple as I asked Claude to create this PowerPoint presentation for me. I set like a bunch of instructions, I gave it a context, I gave it a prompt, and it generated this output for me. So every interaction that I did, it is in the end converted into these tokens. Basically a kind of unit that the AI understands, because that's how it processes information. And that essentially is driving the cost of how you are using the UI, how you're using the AI as an individual. At the same time, how the companies, the organization, the enterprises are being charged for these tokens, because it's not an easy to understand. It's an easy to understand concept, but it is not a straightforward way to understand how each AI provider or each model is going to process this information and create how many tokens and how it's going to be charged. It varies. So the basic understanding of token is that it's your AI interactions, and it gets converted into a cost. What is token economics, right? We understand what's a token, two different types of token, input tokens and output tokens. Now, what is this token economics? So I will first I'll first just say it out loud, the token economics definition, which is provided by the tokenomics.com. AI token economics is the emerging discipline of converting energy and capital into AI token production, efficient consumption of tokens to enable intelligence and drive business value. So as a kid, as a student, I had this habit of breaking down the textbook definitions into the kind of definition that I understand. And so I will break it down for you is in a simple sense that when an organization is investing into AI, how this investment towards token, the cost of token, is justifying the return on investment, right? How is it creating business value? Yes, we all want to invest into this cool technology. We all want to create some value, whether it's through productivity of our engineers, or we want to create better products for our customers. We want to give better user experience, and also we want to understand or we want to count on the future return on investment. Let's say if I invest today into the coding tools, how is it going to save me cost 2 years down the road? These are some of the things that organizations are asking, and that is token economics, right? What's my return on investment? What's the business value when I invest towards these tokens? So there are different variables that drive token consumption. We'll break it down so it is very easy to understand that whenever you are sending a request, what happens and how this whole token economics is played out when you are sending a request, right? You are sending a simple prompt. You're creating a simple prompt instruction, right? You're telling your AI that, hey, I want to create this code. I want to write this code. This is my problem statement. Go ahead and do that. You may provide it some sort of context or some information that, if not code, then let's say you're saying, generate this document for me, and here is this supporting information. So I'll say, hey, refer to this PDF, refer to this logo. For example, like creating this PowerPoint, right? I'll say, hey, I want to create this PowerPoint. I have already uploaded my system instruction, right? I've already given you a logo. I've already given you some samples of how I like my PowerPoints to look. These are the slides you will be creating. So it will work on that. It will refer to those documents. Then it will look at your conversation history, your tool definitions, right? So that's a combination of your system prompt, combination of your context. It will utilize the memory, what information it already has. And then comes the model selection, right? The model selection is very important, that when you are sending this set of instruction, what model should be used behind the scene to generate the output that you're looking for. Now, output length also is very important, because the token consumption isn't just about the input prompts, the system, the context memory, or the model selection. It is also the kind of response that the AI will generate, right? How it is internally designing your prompt, right? How the model is going to behave, and how big your output is going to be, or what kind of content it's going to generate, right? Is it going to be the images? Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be something else, right? Is it going to generate code? So different prompts, different contexts, different outputs, the consumption is going to change. And on top of everything, the retry and orchestration overhead, right? So sometimes we all have observed, like, you're sending an information and it's kind of, it fails, the call fails, right? Then you have to send the set of instructions again. But what happened to the instructions that you sent the first time? It paused at some point, but it doesn't mean that it didn't process, right? The tokens were consumed, tokens were generated to process your request. So that is already gone. You have already wasted your tokens on that. Now it's going to retry. So a number of validation passes, right? Because when it generates something for you, let's say it generated a code for you, and it generated 50,000 lines of code. Now you're like, okay, that's 50,000 lines of code. How do I decode that, understand that, and make it more efficient? Like, is it really targeted towards the problem that I'm trying to solve? If no, then you will send more, send more instruction. You will give it to change. You will tell your AI to change something and regenerate the output for you. That means it's going through a number of iterations, right? And then internally, it might be calling different agents to do the work that you are asking. So, and at some point it hallucinates, right? And it produces a wrong output that you're like, oh, this does not make sense, right? We have all been through that, okay, I asked the AI to do something. I sent a set of instructions. It has the system context. I'm telling it to generate exactly what I'm looking for. But now when it actually generates, it's probably not useful at all. So that's hallucination. And you are paying for it, right? Because token consumption does not stop when it generates a wrong output. So that really is comprising the whole token economics concept, that when the users, organization-wide users, are using AI, be it a productivity tool or it's a product specific, the productivity versus product concept I'm going to cover a little bit after this. But for any reason, when the organizations are investing, these 5 things are happening in terms of token consumption. And this becomes eventually a combination, or it becomes a large chunk of tokens. It becomes, and the number goes high in millions and billions, and then you are charged against each token. And it varies differently from model to model, from different AI, different cloud providers. And that really is driving this whole token economics concept, is that when you are doing all this, what is the company or the organization gaining at the end of the day, right? If I'm utilizing my entire year's budget within like the first 3 or 4 months, because now I have reached the token max, what did I gain, right? Like what business value it created? Did it increase productivity? And did it really make the process more efficient? If not, then, or if yes, and if no, because we need to figure out, like, is it really creating any value at the end of the day? And if it is, then how do I measure it, right? That investment that I did the first 3 to 4 months, how do I measure against my token investment, right? So that's the entire token economics part of it. Now the burning problem, right? There is this buzz in the industry, and we all are kind of looking at a lot of news channels and newspapers, and we read about the stories that enterprises are burning their tokens, right? They're blowing away their budgets. Enterprises now have reached a point where they don't want to keep using, which means at some point it's going to impact the innovation, and we don't want to stop innovations, right? The CEOs will go, hey, no, the innovation cannot stop. So how do we solve this problem, right? So there is a trend going on where, hey, I have already used all the budget that I had. Now I need to pause, understand how do I move forward from here. Yes, I want to invest, but I really want to understand that ROI part before I go headfirst into this. So they are discouraging the use of certain type of AI, or they're also discouraging or pausing the use of AI. There was this trend, right, 2-3 years back, that we want to make AI work, right? Like we want to use AI. What is this generative AI, right? There was this whole buzz around that hey, we want to innovate, we want to use the AI. How can it be useful for my organization? How do I integrate? How do I create more workloads around AI? And now we have reached a point where there is a shift from making AI work to making AI efficient. Because if it is not efficient, we're not going to see the ROI. So now we are into this scramble, right? We are all being reactive to it. That, hey, what happened, right? Why is it costing like millions and billions, and what's happening, right? That reactive scramble is what we are witnessing throughout the industry, right? The justification for ROI is everybody is looking at is because, like I said, we don't want to stop innovating, but we also want to understand that it has to be balanced. The investment should be creating the right value for the organization, be it more productivity, be it the financial gain, be it cost savings, right? We need to see the results when you are investing into this, and it's not cheap, right? It's a costly solution at the moment. There is a hope that it will become cheaper at some point, but your tokens are costing you, and we need to find a solution. Some of the examples I'll cover, right? What the organizations are going through, and these are all the news articles available online, is that Uber burned its like 2026 AI budget in 4 months, right? So the entire year's budget is gone. Amazon is going to like shut down the token leaderboard, right? There was a phase when the industries, when organizations were encouraging that, hey, use AI, right? How many tokens you are using? There's a leaderboard, and it's like, oh no, let's not do it. Let's just don't use AI just to use AI, right? So basically pause and understand. Some unknown company spent $500 million on Claude in a single month. AI usage jumped from 1 trillion tokens a month to 12 trillion. That's a lot, right? Last but not the least, and this is very important because we are all working in tech, and we know engineers do a lot of good work when it comes to innovations, productivity, and Gartner predicts that AI coding costs will surpass average developer's salary by 2028 as token consumption surges. Now think about it. Organizations are investing right now in the hopes that 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road, I probably may not need as many engineers. Maybe the agents will be doing the work, but comes 2028, 2029, you find yourself into a different problem where if the predictions are right, you are going to spend more money on the coding assistants, right? The agents versus the engineers. And I don't think that there will come a time where the human in the loop is not required. So now you are spending money on AI agents. At the same time, you have a human in the loop, and that kind of doubles your cost, right? So it's a big problem, and definitely we need to work on the solution now. So when 2 years down the road, when we reach at that point, it doesn't become a massive, bigger problem than it already is. So the why behind the burning problem. I spoke about some of these issues, and I will quickly cover that why it actually became this big of a problem is because the nature of the tokens, right? It's a probabilistic nature, right? It's unpredictable and it's unmeasurable. You don't know which model, which AI portal is going to cost you how much. As simple as simple question that how's the weather in Gilbert, Arizona today? And I can tell you it's hot. But that question to different AI models is going to create different tokens. It has its own billing taxonomy and its own way of generating the bills against these tokens. And every different model is going to charge you differently. So it's basically unpredictable, unmeasurable. The variable pricing, right? It's not going to charge the same. Input versus output tokens, and they are charged differently. Additional cost driver is like the reasoning traces, the context, the embedded media, the inference. We spoke about that, right? That it all adds into the prompt that you have asked, right? It all adds into the cost. Multi-model sprawl, right? As engineers, right, we have this fear of missing out. Like as soon as there is a new model out, we want to try and explore, and it's an instinct, I would say. We all go through that hey, there is something latest in the market, I want to give it a try. And the models are coming out every day, right? There is always newer, better version available, and we want to try. We end up trying before understanding how it's going to change the cost, right? And it does cost. Sometimes we have seen examples where the latest model is, it's efficient, it's creating really good content for you, it's really generating a really good code for you, but it's costing you more as well. And we don't have a system, or we don't have the platforms available yet where you have that visibility, right? Like which team, which project, which application and user are costing you how much in terms of token consumption, the token cost. So the absence of that attribution is causing this chaos, is how I would like to put it. So we looked at what is token, what's tokenomics. We went through the burning AI problem currently in the industry and the why behind it as well. And now we are moving towards understanding the solution, right? What's the solution to this problem? How does it look like, right? What can we do that will help us with this problem and still help us keep going with innovations, keep investing into this tech. So what we need is visibility. First of all, you need to be able to see how the tokens are being used, right? How many tokens, input tokens, output tokens per provider, right? Like AWS, GCP, Azure, all these cloud providers, how they are charging for these AI tools. You need to know how is your teams, like your product, your team, your application, your users are spending on this token. Plus AI licensing costs, right? You have 1,000 cloud licenses. You want to know how many of these licenses are assigned. Are people really using it? How they are using it? Is there a token max happening? Who's using these licenses and how, right? So that part there has to be a visibility to that. So basically we are looking for a solution that is proactive, that's predictable and measurable in some way across your AI spend, right? You want to have some sort of idea on what's happening. You visualize it, you see, and then you should be able to predict based on your patterns now. Yes, this is unpredictable, but how do we make it predictable in some way based on the analysis of how the users are utilizing it, how your applications are utilizing it, and based on that usage pattern, how do we predict, how do we forecast, right? How do we create budgets around it? And how do we keep tracking? So in a nutshell, we are looking for a mechanism by which we can have that ROI analysis of our AI investment. So what do we need, right? It's always the people who are going to interact with these AI tools, right? There's going to be new personas. We already know that the FinOps tools or FinOps platforms usually work with finance, engineering, and executive teams. But really this ROI has to be measured very early when you are actually making the investment. And for that, it starts at the design phase, right? When you are coming out with a product, your product designers, right, need to be a part of this conversation. Prompt engineers need to be part of this conversation. They need to understand the prompts that they are writing, how it is affecting the overall ROI, or how it is affecting at least the token consumption and the cost aspect of it. Your data scientists, your procurement team, obviously, because they are the ones approving the licensing cost. Executives, of course, because they are the ones who are trying to figure out like, hey, how much it is costing me, why it is costing me this much, and they will need some sort of visibility into this. So when we are talking about visibility, we are going to need some sort of a way to look at the results, right? Look at what's happening behind the scene. Basically, you need to be able to visualize the token usage and in turn the AI usage, right? You need to be able to have budgets, forecasting the usage trends. You need to see how people are using it. And this whole thing, the personas and platform, it kind of lets you have some sort of guardrails, some sort of control around the entire AI ecosystem. So you are going to need a platform at some point. And once you have the people working with this platform, you need a process around it, right? Just having a platform is not sufficient. Just having people educated or looking at the platform is not sufficient. Once you have the personas working on this platform, you need a process, right? You need to have that daily checkpoints, or at least weekly checkpoints. You need to have those daily reports, weekly reports. You need to have those anomaly detections, right? You need to have those spend spikes that, hey, something happened. This doesn't look, there is an unusual behavior on your AI spend, right? Today your token usage surged by 50%. Do you want to take a look what happened? Who's using it, right? So this process has to be in place, right? We need to have those meetings. We need to keep looking at our platform to get better, get proper notifications, and in turn get better at how we make decisions on AI spend, right? We may make mistakes, there will be anomalies, there will be budget issues, but once we start this personas platform and process, it all starts working together. We will build a system around the token usage and token economics that it works in harmony and it works as a process that you have control, you have the visibility, you know where you are spending, where is that return on investment. So that combines this whole solution, that this is the kind of solution the industry is looking for. At the end, I'll just introduce the FinOps for AI token economic solution that we have built, the Finomics team has built, and we are at the time, so if you want to ask questions, feel free to put it into the Zoom chat, and we should be able to answer that. While you are asking the questions, I'll just quickly cover the governance, visibility, and control plane that we have developed. What it provides, right? The token economic solution that Finomics has built, it addresses every single problem and the criteria, that the solution criteria that we covered, right? It provides you visibility into how you're spending your tokens, on which models, what are the highest costing models, right? So you have that token usage tracking per product, per team, per application, right? Who's consuming how many tokens, right? How it is utilized. The model usage tracking across all cloud providers. How many models are being used, how many tokens are being used per model, how it is being charged, right? How much you are being charged. And then recommendations as well, that hey, you should, instead of using this model, why don't you use this model, because for this use case it doesn't make sense. And the AI seed tracking, right? The OpenAI, Claude, Azure Foundry, there are a lot of AI solutions out there, so we kind of, organizations are subscribing to that, sometimes through marketplace, right, as a SaaS product. So the seed tracking is very important. Like I mentioned, like if you have 1,000 licenses, you want to know how it's being utilized. So all of these suggestions, all of these features are covered as part of the Finomics solution. This is like a tip of the iceberg, a very high level dashboard view that I have shared with you. The platform is very rich, the solution is very powerful. It has very cool features, very detailed visualization tracking mechanism for the tokens that the organizations are looking for at this point as a solution. And we are going to cover that into our upcoming webinar, because this is going to be a series, and we will deep dive into this solution in the next couple of weeks. Look out for another webinar that talks about this solution in details. But for now, as you can see, it's telling you how is your total AI ML cost per provider, how much is your AI ML cost, how is your cost distributed. So it gives you the charts and graphs and like the quick visualization that the executive levels are currently looking at. It tells you your input token count, output token count, and then it is also telling you that, okay, these are your 3 top contributors, right? These are the models that's costing you the most. Like I said, this is just a tip of the iceberg, a very simple first view I'm providing you. The solution itself is much richer. It's combining everything: budgeting, forecasting, anomaly detection, and all the other cool things that we are looking for to create that combination of persona, platform, and the process. So stay tuned for upcoming sessions. I will now try to look for the questions. If you don't have questions, I am very thankful for you to be here today. I'm trying to look for how many questions I've asked. How many questions I'm getting. I don't see anything yet. Please feel free to ask if you have any questions on tokens, token economics. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm very happy that you were able to join us today on a Friday morning and in India time Friday evening. We are very thankful that you joined, and stay tuned for the upcoming webinar.